Hello, hello. We are here. We do say good day to you this day of your time. It is our great pleasure to meet you, and we thank you for extending to us the opportunity to co-create with you. And we do say that every time you allow for a being like ourselves, or a group of beings like ourselves, to come and meet you in your world, there is a new reality that is created through the blending of our frequencies. So, welcome to your own new reality today. We do speak on behalf of the Pleiadian Council, and we also must mention that there are many other beings here today with us, some of your own guides, some of your own connections to beings from other dimensions are opening more at this moment. We would first like to begin with an idea about purpose. Many of you in your world ask us or ask yourselves questions. What is my purpose? And the confusion around this can be released today if you wish. For we do say that the purpose of existence itself is to become self-aware. Consider that source, or the creator, if you look at it in that way, was an infinite, empty consciousness, or rather awareness. We would use that term, yes, awareness. And this awareness, because there was no other, did not have an experience of itself. And in order to experience and know self, the source had to create other. And so source created many, many dimensions, and you exist in one of them. Each being in all of these dimensions is the source itself, coming to become aware of its existence as the source, of its existence as the entire universe. So all is this one source, and this one source is within all. This is the purpose of existence. Yet your purpose is even beyond knowing yourself, being yourself. How do you be yourself? You are always yourself. And this is a concept that many of you discuss. How do I be more of myself? And we understand that this is a reality for you, as there has been many layers of conditioning that bring you to question yourself. And questioning yourself is good, though doubting yourself, doubting your desire, doubting your deserving, doubting your connection, does not really help you expand, as all that you experience is the direct result of what you are choosing to believe. We would say to you that you are all infinitely powerful beings, capable of creating anything that you would wish to create. And of course, those things that serve you the most to create are the things that serve the greater good of all, the things that bring you to feel your connection with all others. And so your purpose in becoming self-aware and being yourself is in authentically honoring what is truly exciting for you, what brings you to feel passion. So we would describe this frequency as excitement, as passion, as love, even as desire. And this frequency is the one that brings you forward. When you do what it is that you love the very most, as much as you can, you generate a frequency that attracts to you synchronistic occurrences. It raises your vibration so that you are able to perceive the other dimensions that you exist in. And it allows you to become much more self-aware. Your purpose is in generating within yourself the experience of greater love. And we say generating the experience of because that love is already here and now with you. The highest expression of love that manifests through your universe is already here and now with you. And you simply must raise your own frequency to match the height of that great and powerful love. The core intention of this particular universe, because there are many universes, was to experience unconditional love. And this love is really a fabric of reality. It is a pure expression of consciousness, one aspect of consciousness. And consciousness is what builds every dimension. Consciousness and energy are the same thing. So whenever you speak about energy, realize that it is consciousness. It is awareness brought into a particular way of expressing itself, of seeing itself, of experiencing itself. And the energy that you put out is always what you get back. And so you embody your purpose through putting out the highest expression of love that you are capable of. And this frequency then allows others to follow your example and match that frequency by being an expression of their version of love. So in this way, you can come to understand that your purpose may be very complex for every individual, as you all have many things that you love, and many things that excite you, and many paths that you wish to walk, and they are all relevant. It is simply a matter of choosing in each moment which one is truly the most exciting, which activity, which idea fills me with the most love. And you do this continuously enough, and you will find that this is all you really need to do. As you do this, you will also discover that you will know what you need to know when you need to know it, both intuitively and by seeking knowledge outside of you, yourself, in the world around you. You will find the information you need to find in the precise timing that you need it, when you are really doing what is most authentically loving for you. And this frequency of love, again, it radiates out from you. Whenever you are in that flow state of passion, you are creating a reality that can hold more of that passion, a reality where others can find more of that passion and love within themselves in a way that is your purpose simplified. And as we explore with you today, we would love to clarify with each and every one of you how you can find your own personal expression of that excitement and passion in a clear way by revealing and releasing any belief systems that create that experience of doubt, that create that illusion of separation. And this we do find very exciting. So we will be happy to begin whenever you are ready. You may come and participate with your questions or reflections or sharings, and we will reflect right back to you.
First, I'll ask, do the Pleiadians want us to spread the information to other humans that you guys exist, or could that be dangerous?
No, there's no danger in that. Because if they did not believe it, what could possibly happen? We actually do want you to share this information if it is truly exciting for you. And for many of you it will be. You do not need to force feed it to others. We understand that there's enough of that in your world already. Simply share your own passion, your own interest in these ideas and how it has maybe changed or helped you in some way.
What do the Pleiadians look like?
Well, when you say Pleiadians, you refer to a whole constellation. So there are many stars, many stars, thousands of stars in the region that you perceive as the Pleiades. We are part of one group though there are many other different beings, some that you would describe as anthropomorphic, having qualities of animals and humanoids. Some, much like yourselves, we are slightly taller than the average human. Our foreheads are a bit longer. We, if you would see us, would radiate a certain glow, a certain light, directly from our body. We have the same racial diversity, and even more, that your world also expresses. And yes, we are not so different from you, though there are many other beings that would be just as much Pleiadian that look very different from us. And they are as well connected to us, so sometimes you will meet those Pleiadians as well as we come to your reality.
I know it was mentioned that you don't want future questions, so if you don't want to answer this, this is okay. But we wanted to ask, what do you see for the future of our planet Earth?
Well, that is a very exciting thing for us to discuss, though again, we can only tell you the probabilities, because in every moment, every nanosecond even, as your personal vibration changes, your future also changes. And likewise for your planet, as the collective vibration shifts, so do the future timelines. Now, generally speaking, at this point, you are only delaying or bringing closer to you in time the certain events that will likely occur. So, at this time, what is occurring in your 2019 is much of a preparation for your 2020, which is symbolically representing what you call 2020 vision, clarity. And you are now becoming very clear in the things that work for you, the things that excite you, and the things that do not. What is also becoming clear now is this division, this duality, we would say, as it is not truly that divided, but by choice. The polarity between those on the path of connectivity leading to greater expansion, ascension, and contact with the extraterrestrial life forms, and the other path is such of separation, and that separation will lead to greater war and problems. Well, you could describe them as problems, though we see that all of these choices are valid and powerful ways for Source to come to know itself more clearly. So we do not judge that. Now in your world, there is indeed this division occurring, and those of you on this path of connectivity will find yourselves more connected, more able to make connection with each other, more able to make connection with the higher dimensions and beings from them, more able to manifest quicker those things that bring you joy, that spread love, that heal yourself and others. And likewise, on the other side of the coin, the destruction, the separation, and all of its symptoms will express themselves more as well. So we would say that for those of you on this path of connectivity, it is likely that you will meet extraterrestrial life forms between the years 2025 and 2040. And again, your own choices, your own frequency determines when and how that will occur. Likewise, the other side of the coin, there will be greater issues arising. There may be some international conflicts. There may be expressions of dictatorships in oppressive ways in certain parts of your world. It is most certain that in the future, your ice caps will melt and some of the shorelines will recede. It is most certain that the climatary regions will shift a bit. And yes, there will be some natural disasters that will continue, as the Earth is responding to the shift in frequency. Though with this we also would say that as you come to refine your own intuition, you will receive the information you need to know about any such impending danger as you need to know it. We do not wish to instill fear, because truly, for those of you on this path of connectivity, the light is getting brighter, you are becoming more unified, you are becoming more capable, and this will certainly lead to open contact when you are ready. Eventually, the negative polarity, you could say, will shift entirely to another Earth plane. So there are many different versions of Earth, and right now, this is a very interesting time because the souls choosing this new ascended Earth, part of the Galactic Federation, are here, and the souls that are choosing a very dense expression of Earth in their future are also here. And for a while, you will share space. It is important to see them for what they are teaching you and have compassion for them, though understand that you are in a different reality.
Going off that, what can you tell us about the powers and governments of our world, and what are some things they may be hiding from us?
We do not wish to discuss this in too great of a detail, as we are not allowed to reveal all of this information. We would say that there is indeed a series of different groups that are behind certain governments that have more negative agendas, and there are also a growing number of people with positive intentions attempting to change the structure of things. There is indeed open contact with some of your world governments, with some extraterrestrials. We wouldn't describe it as the same kind of open contact. It is more of an advisory sort of contact. There has been some technologies that have been shared. And yes, there is indeed also good beneath this as well. So do not fear, though also pay attention, because there's much subliminal programming occurring all the time, attempting to bring you into a state of fear. And truly, you do not need to entertain this, because again, that is a representation of that other parallel reality of Earth. And yes, bring awareness to those ideas, to those potential threats, yet realize that as you create your own reality, you have the potential to create something much better for yourself and to create a unification among people that will prevent that from being your reality together.
What do you know about human romantic relationships? Are we meant to have one soulmate?
No. Because, well, you have many soulmates. And really, with this idea that you have of soulmates, we would say that you must come to treat every other as if they were your soulmate. You must understand that the universe can never make mistakes. You are always where you're at and with the right person for you to grow and expand. And as you allow yourself to feel the connection of love between you and the other at all times, you come into a greater awareness of yourself as the universe, beyond your limited human self. Every soul has the potential to bring you to that space of unity. And so, meet everyone with love. That is what we would say first about this idea of soulmates. Realize that there is a purpose. There is something very important to gain from every relationship. Now, you, as a soul, are part of a bigger oversoul. This oversoul contains souls that are all expressing themselves right here and now, yet in your perception of reality as a human in your dimension, express themselves throughout time and space. And you have interpreted this as reincarnation. So all of your past lives or future lifetimes are part of this oversoul group. Now, additionally to those past and future soul aspects, you do have concurrent soul aspects, souls that are a part of the same oversoul that live at the same time and space as you. Some of these relationships, if you meet other aspects of your oversoul, would express as friends, some as lovers, some as enemies. Because sometimes, again, you gain the greatest depth of knowledge and understanding through conflict. So, these soul members, when you meet them, you will feel as if you have known them before, or you will feel a deep kinship with them, because again, you are part of that same oversoul together. And it is possible to have long-term relationships with some people within your oversoul as well, though there is an idea in your reality of twin flames, and this is a bit of a distorted idea often because you perceive that without the other twin, you are not complete. When your soul itself is complete, it is whole, it is sovereign, and it expands, yes, through connecting with other souls, through connecting with all that is. And as all that is contained in every part of all that is, every one is a teacher for you to connect deeper with all that is.
What is the Pleiadian diet, and what do you guys
We do not eat.
Okay.
No, we do not eat.
Okay.
Would anybody else like to ask questions? Are you complete at this time?
I'm good. I just had stuff written down from all of this that we discussed.
Oh, all
If
right.
anyone else wants to...
You can continue with these questions that you've collected from the group.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing this.
If you don't mind us asking, how do you procreate, and do you guys have sexual identities?
We do create new life. It is not in the same style of a sexual connection that you experience in your world, though it is still very pleasurable. Now, as we are quasi-physical beings, we have the ability to, in a way, change our persona, adjust it in a variety of ways. So we can even, if we would really wish to, change gender within one incarnation at will with consciousness. Now, do we have identities around this? Well, we wouldn't say it is such as an identity. We understand the purpose that we serve, though as we are connected to the collective consciousness of our reality and of our world, of all beings, part of our particular species, we do not create such strong ego structures as we are able to meet each other and receive energy from each other telepathically at all times. We are actually a bit more androgynous than some groups. We do have, yes, genders. We have what you know as the male, the female, and on those rare occasions, those that are in between, that are of a third gender. Yet, altogether, we do not express such strong gendered, as you would say, masculine or feminine energies, as we hold both of those energies within ourselves.
What is your mission, and do you guys feel as though you are succeeding?
Well, our mission, ultimately, as the mission of all, is to become more self-aware, to raise our frequency to come to even higher dimensions of evolution. And we do that really through service. And we explore many other realities, such as your own, and we share our loving frequency. We exchange ideas with other cultures throughout the galaxy, throughout the universe. And that allows us, again, to expand, to evolve, to grow in our perspective, and begin to ascend to even higher dimensions.
What other living beings have you found around the universe, if any?
Oh, there are quite many. Which ones do you want to know about?
Any of them? The nearest.
The nearest.
One moment. The nearest in distance to you would be, well, depending on how you look at it, really. Though we understand that you were asking about physically incarnate beings, so we'll start there. They are a group of beings that are still in an early point of evolution. They are expressing themselves as animals and some more intelligent primate-like beings. They are still evolving. There are many beings and realms like this that are still in an early stage of evolution. And at one point your planet will be able to travel and be the first to contact those groups. Now, there's even nearer extraterrestrial groups, such as in your planet Venus, which is a base for beings that are not physical. So they are coming from a parallel universe altogether and using Venus as a planetary body, as a station to anchor their frequency. They are known as the Hathors. So really, they are not far away from you at all, though they would not express themselves as physical beings.
You guys want to switch to more personal questions?
No? Why did the Anunnaki make us, and do they love us?
That's my question.
Well, of course, they love you in some regard. Why they created you was for the purpose of saving themselves, ultimately. As is common and almost universal in this universe, there are cycles of evolution and devolution. They were in that sort of downward part of the cycle in which they were devolving. Their planet was being destabilized. And really, gold is one of the most powerful stabilizers for atmospheres. It can be used through certain scientific protocols to create a more hospitable atmosphere, to alter the weather patterns, to support life. They came for that purpose of extracting gold from your planet, and they noted the beings there that were what you would describe now as Sasquatch, Bigfoot, yes. These beings inhabiting your planet were met by the Anunnaki, and they began to splice their genetics together to create you, humans. And the first humans were friendly servants. So the Anunnaki did take care of the humans. They did love them. They had deep relationships with them, oftentimes. And as things progressed, the Anunnaki had to leave, as the group of Anunnaki that came to your world were simply a faction of the greater group of Anunnaki as a species as a whole. When the whole planet got notified that part of their world had started this colony, they were not so pleased with this and invited them, or demanded them, more specifically, to come back. Though they did monitor you for periods of time, They did return at certain points in your history to impart knowledge, to make sure that you were all right. And eventually, they left on their own journey of evolution.
Is it okay if I ask a personal question? Cool. Okay. My personal question is, I've been unable to be undiagnosed for like random illnesses the past 2 years of my
Yes.
life. And it's been like bacterial infections, very aggressive ones.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if you had any input of how to either prevent them or like what I need to change in my life to be healthy physically and mentally, I guess.
All right, one moment. Our first question for you would be, are you capable of digesting life?
I believe yes,
All right,
I'm on that way.
yes. Though are there certain things that are hard for you to digest emotionally?
Yeah, probably. Like trying to understand how we're all, this is like, I'm trying to detach from like the social norms and the idea of like life. I don't know, it's just like, yeah.
Yes. So, this invasion of bacteria
Yeah.
is in a way symbolic of the invasion, the intrusion of conditioning, of cultural norms that are hard for you to digest. So, one important emotional aspect, as all of the disease is a manifestation of a mental idea that results in an emotional disbalance and then creates the physical issue as well. So to learn how to be who you are, to not digest, to not take in the ideas from others that you do not wish to take in, as that is the bad energetic bacteria. So you can be who you are without resisting those ideas of cultural normality. You can be who you are without opposing or fighting or resisting or even fearing those ideas, realizing that they are there to constrict others, yet they do not have to constrict you. And in this way, by standing very firm for what you do represent, by only digesting the ideas, the energies, the relationships that you really wish to digest, this is one foundation that will allow for healing to also ripple into your physical body, into that dimension. Now, in addition to that, there are many plants that will indeed support you in clearing out excess bacteria. There are many practices, detox protocols that we are sure you have explored some of. Though, as you continue on that path, as you discover the things that work for your body and the things that do not, that is also a very important aspect, an important facet of the healing process. And it is a matter of coming to also have a state of acceptance unconditionally for your body, to be able to love your body where you're at. And that is also the same as loving your relationship to these challenges outside of you, these challenges within your society, having that sort of acceptant attitude that allows you to be more at ease will also bring your body, your digestive system, to be more at ease.
Thank you.
Something more you would like to ask about this?
No, I think that was really good.
All right. We do thank you. Yes.
May I? Okay, I have 4 questions.
All right.
Do you have a personal message for me?
Well, if you ask some questions, maybe we will.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was like anything specific. Okay, can you activate some scars from my Pleiadian ancestral memory?
You can do that.
Can you help me with that?
Yes. So, we would invite all of you, if you would, to imagine a channel of light that connects to your whole body, it surrounds you even, and it goes infinitely down and infinitely up in both directions, down connecting you down to the frequency of the earth, and up bringing you into connection with other realms. Now, simply imagine our star. There's several. You can choose Alcyon, you can choose Maya. They are brilliant blue stars far beyond. Imagine that that energy pours down into your body like a waterfall, like a stream. And as it enters, notice the frequency that shifts within you. As your consciousness will always shift when you focus it in one direction. Your imagination is this tool. This is one way that you can bring yourself to connect with our world. Does this energy shift anything for you?
I think it might.
Do you feel something within you as you connect to this frequency?
I don't know. I think
You
I
must
have
feel
to,
something. So what do you feel?
Like brightness, blue brightness.
Yes. And emotionally?
Soothing, kind of
Yes.
refreshing.
Yes. So, by tapping into your own imagination, by tapping into this energy, knowing that we're always with you, your frequency will adjust to be more resonant with the energy that we vibrate at. Now, you can do this at any time that you wish in your meditations. You can connect to our stars as we do live around them. Our energy will come, or you can also connect to our ships. There are ships around your planet that you can astrally travel to at will or without knowing it, in your sleep or simply in meditation. Even when you are in your yoga pose, the shavasana as you call it, you can imagine that you are floating out beyond your body, going up through this chamber of light that connects to a ship just above your little classroom here. Well, more than just above, but you get the idea. And you can send a part of yourself to go there. Now, your imagination is connected to your own astral body. So whenever you are imagining yourself going off into some journey, there is a transference of energy. There is a reality that you are exploring, and it is interwoven with your physical waking reality. So meeting us is as simple as believing you are capable of doing it, and believing that you already have the tools to do it, and allowing it to happen when you want it to happen. Yes?
You mentioned that there are other beings and personal guides here today.
Oh, yes.
Are there any personal guides of mine?
Do you feel the presence of any such of these beings?
I think so.
All right. And what does their frequency feel like? How is it a bit different than ours?
It's, I don't know, closer somehow? Physically
Alright.
closer?
Yes. They are in a wave, right next to you, behind you. Well, you are opening up connections more to the realm of Arcturus, and these beings can be guides for you as well. The same way that you can come to our ships, you can go to theirs. They are assisting you with a process of healing and becoming a more powerful healer. So come to meet them as well. They are very powerful and very expressive of their love in a specific way.
My final question is, who is the old lady?
Which old lady?
The one who keeps coming to me.
Oh, yes. We do see that this is a part of your oversoul. Is she quite loving with you? Does she feel fun to connect with?
I don't know.
What do you feel in her presence?
I'm just curious. It feels like she has a message for me, but I haven't been able to receive it.
Yes. Well, you must continue opening that door to find out. We can say that this is a soul connection from your oversoul, meaning what you would interpret as past lives, yes? So she is reaching out to you, both to awaken within you the gifts that come directly from your oversoul, as with all of these soul aspects that are part of your oversoul, you can channel talents, understandings, information from them without having to do all of the work in your present incarnation. She as well has gifts that relate to healing, and she is as well coming in a way to be healed by you.
Is there any easy way for me to open that connection with her?
By being more willing to meet her, by being more trusting that she has good intentions and so do you, and allowing your heart to open for that energy to enter, inviting her to come in moments where you feel you have the focus enough to shift your own dimensional perspective a bit to meet her, and she will guide you from there.
She showed me a horse.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
Oh, what does the horse mean to you?
I have no idea. I know it had something to do with her, though. So I don't know why she showed it to me.
Do you like riding horses?
I never have, so I don't know.
How would you imagine it to feel if you did?
Probably very freeing.
Yes, that is, in a way, a universal symbol of the horse. It represents, in your reality, freedom. So, in a way, she, as we have said, is coming to you for healing, as sometimes aspects of your oversoul do. And this healing will happen through both of you coming to express greater freedom.
Thank you.
Our thanks to you as well.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
I have a question about my dreams.
All right.
Are you able to channel into those?
If you describe them a bit to us, yes.
Okay. I have had what I call shadowy man in my dreams,
Yes.
and he has traveled with me for a couple years now.
All right.
I'm fearful of him,
Yes.
and I would like to know any insights on that.
As we interpret this energy, this shadow is not something separate from your own soul. So we would invite you to question what may you be fearing or avoiding within yourself, as that is what he is representing.
sometimes he duplicates.
Yes.
Would that be multiple things that I'm fearing within myself?
Well, those frequencies can present themselves through a multitude of forms, though there is one overarching theme.
What does that mean?
Well, we are asking you, what is it that you are fearing? What within this figure triggers fear in you?
The figure triggers fear in me because as my dreams progress, he gets closer and closer to me,
Yes.
and the unknown triggers the fear.
Yes. So, why do you suppose, simply because this being is shadowy, that if he got close enough, he would have ill intent?
I don't know.
Well, we will say this about your dreams, is that this is a higher dimensional experience. This is, in a way, a reality in its own right. And what you are doing within your dreams is creating through fearing something that you do not know, a manifestation of this part of you expressing itself as a shadowy figure. So, by coming to face the unknown, by coming to trust that you create your reality, and that what you do not know simply gives you greater power to choose how you would like to feel in the face of the unknown. As the universe is always responding to your frequency, when you put out a frequency of fear, especially in your dream state, you will attract a manifestation of that fear. In the waking state, you will still attract a manifestation of fear, though it will take a bit longer, as in the dream state, everything manifests instantaneously. You do not need to answer now, though we invite you to ask yourself, what may I be fearing within myself? What aspects of myself do I not know? And when you come to know the parts of yourself that you have in a way covered in this cloudy darkness by fearing them, the figure itself will also change. The figure that you are seeing is a part of you. And it only appears as dark because you have beliefs about the unknown and beliefs about yourself and beliefs about the unknown parts of yourself. So by coming to know them and by coming to trust that love is the foundation of all that is, you will indeed be able to have an integration with this part of yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
Hello.
Hello and good day to you.
Good day to you. I have a related question to one that she had just asked.
All right.
I had gotten really, really deep into lucid dream practices for a long time, many years ago, and then I started having some experiences of what my perception is a dark entity that was coming into my space and starting to control the dreams. And so I'm wondering if there's any insights that you might have with that.
And has this entity met you in any way in your waking state?
No.
All right. Have you been able to maintain that state of lucidity within your dreams?
It really scared me away from it for a long time, and so in the last few years I've been working on just calling in, first of all, having a significant intention for as soon as
Yes.
I enter into lucid dream practice, and then secondly to call in guidance from my spiritual allies.
Yes. So, in a way, you enable this entity with some layer of belief, somewhere you may believe that something outside of you could control you. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I feel like especially at the time when those dreams were happening.
Yes. So by releasing this belief system and by coming to understand your own power, by having experiences that affirm your own power and shifting your own focus in a way that proves to you the connections you have with those of the light, this will certainly not be your experience again. So understand that many of the states that you find yourself entering now are not so different from your dream state. When you are in this deep state of meditation, this is in a way, or some expressions of meditation, because every expression of meditation will bring you to a different brainwave frequency, and in that different frequency, you enter into a different sort of dimensional threshold. You can find yourself, while still remaining more consciously in control, entering back into that same experience of a dreamlike state. And in this state, call forth your guides, call forth angels, if that is who you wish to connect with, call forth fairies or beings like ourselves if you wish to connect with them, and develop that co-creative partnership that will allow you to trust in your own power and trust that those you call upon do arise when you believe and when you hold a frequency of love. Unlike the last dream we spoke about, we do sense that this was a more foreign entity. Of course, at one level, all is one, though there is the possibility of meeting entities from other dimensions that do not have such positive intentions. At this point, this entity does not have any grasp in your field because you have cleared much of these old belief systems that said that something outside you could control you. And now that you are gaining a greater confidence in yourself, it is a very exciting time to explore these new ventures into the dream realms, no?
Yeah, very.
All right. Something more you would like to share?
Nope.
All right, our thanks to you.
Thank you.
Hello,
Hello and good day to you.
good day. So I keep getting all of these signs from the universe and like through the cards that we pick here and through angel numbers, and it's just basically saying I'm here on earth to like rise up consciousness and vibrational energy and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of wondering if you have any guidance on how best I can do that.
Well, by expressing your own passion, your own excitement, what brings you to feel the greatest love in every moment, that is how you are of greatest service.
Okay.
So we would then ask you, what do you feel the most excited about?
So many things.
That's
I
great.
like- yeah. I like being in nature,
All right.
doing yoga and writing, and lots of things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that as you continue to follow this path, there are new avenues that open up that allow you to express the understanding that you are gaining to others in more profound ways?
Yes.
All right. Then continue to follow that path. And we would also say that your excitement is in every moment. It is in every decision that you make. It is in the small things as well as the big things. So dream big, though realize that every little action, when it is the time that you feel excited to go for a walk, the excitement that carries you to go on that walk, to feel the connection to the life around you, the spirits around you, allows you to expand your excitement, allows you to go deeper into that excitement. So we would say continue to dream as well. Continue to dream of what could be very exciting for you. And you may find that as you experience the reflection of reality, that what you thought excites you changes, and that is part of the process as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there something specifically exciting for you that you would like to go deeper into?
I don't think I can choose.
Well, you are allowed and encouraged to choose all of them, to explore all of the many paths available to you. If they are all exciting, continue to choose all of them. If at some point there is a clear distinction that you must do one thing or the other thing, then simply choose the one that brings you to feel the most excited. And this is where it can be challenging when there are these very big decisions, because sometimes your conditioning brings you to orient towards what is more practical, or what is better for others, or what is somehow more acceptable by others. And really, this core frequency of passion is the truest determining factor. If your love is in it, and if it does serve the greater good, then choose wherever you feel the most love.
Okay. Thank you.
Our thanks to you as well.
Hey, thanks for being with us.
And thank you for allowing us to meet you.
Yeah. I'm wondering, often I struggle with self-doubt,
All right.
thoughts and things that go on.
Yes.
And I'm currently on a journey to cultivate more stronger intuition.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if there's anything that would be helpful for me to practice or look at for myself that would cultivate that stronger intuition.
What brings you to doubt yourself?
It's a great question. I think my own mind, coming up with random thoughts and not really based in
Oh,
reality.
yes. What thoughts about yourself repeat? What do you believe about yourself that causes you to feel this doubt?
I guess my knowledge, or doubting that I can actually know something without having like the mind know it, almost. Like doubting the belief in that.
Give us an example of one idea that may fall into this category.
Maybe like connecting with a friend and feeling into something that they might be experiencing, but then not bringing it up because I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, and I think it might
Oh,
be
all right.
confronting or something. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to an instance of intuition like this in a relationship, indeed there is the possibility of projecting something from your own experience, or projecting something that you have come to believe about others onto this individual, though you could only move through your projections by owning and honoring them. Because oftentimes they are not projections either. And in this way, when you allow your intuition, allow your current feeling to be honored, to be expressed in some way, you will always clarify it. So this may not be the most satisfying answer, and we're sorry for that. Though the only way really to become clearer is to allow yourself to have the experience of not being entirely clear. And the more you simply just take the leap of faith, we would say that actually more often you will find that you were right on, and that the distortions that get in the way are minor. So if you don't take that step, the distortions can never actually clear themselves. When you are feeling an expansion in your heart, a pulsing in your heart, a warmth in your heart, that is always a sign that what you are focused upon is the right direction. We wouldn't really say right, though we understand that's the way you see things. There is no ultimate right or wrong. It is simply more reflective of what you prefer, more reflective of what your soul wishes to express. So always trust that feeling within you. Now, on this theme of self-doubt, we would say for you, and for many of you as well, it is important to come to reflect upon those early experiences when you were younger, in which you were given certain ideas about what it means to be right or wrong, or what it means to be intelligent or not, or what it means to be a good person, so on and so forth. Exploring all of these memories, exploring the moments in which you were forced to behave a certain way, or limited in your expression, or told that you were not wise or capable enough, as all of these moments leave an imprint. And when you can see that those moments are in a way frozen across time and space, that each and every moment that has happened to you in a traumatic way leaves this sort of inner ghost, you could say, this inner fragment, more specifically, more accurately, a fragment, you can come to meet those parts of yourself and take the love and the knowing you experience today back to those parts of yourself, to allow them to feel validated in their pain, in their confusion, to allow them to express all of themselves, to allow them to then develop their own inner power to be who they are. And part of this process also involves changing those memories. So your subconscious is always replaying memories, whether you are aware of it or not. And many of you are aware consciously of how these memories are replaying. And the only way to really change this is to actually lay a new script on top of that old memory. Play a script of what you would have preferred to happen. This is not in a way to deny the reality of the past. It is simply to bring a new sort of structure into your consciousness that will be instead reflective of what you do prefer and what you do wish to believe. A belief that is connective and validates your great worthiness and power. And the more you do this, the less doubt will creep in.
Thank you. Just a really quick follow-up. There's
Yes.
therapy in our world called internal family systems, and it sounds similar to what you're describing. If you could, I don't know if you channel into that, but if you could, would you recommend that for what you just described?
We would recommend that to some people. So as you explore the ideas, the structure of this particular system, and again, follow your intuition by noticing how your heart responds. Does it feel like an expansiveness, or does it feel foreign? Does it feel not exciting? Simply notice, as there are so many systems for doing the process that we described, and many other processes that are related to clearing these old belief systems from the past, and some work for some people, and they will not work for other people. It is simply a matter of where your own belief system is at the time, and where your own preferences lie. So, yes, investigate it, and also investigate other processes. Many are called inner child work. And all of them have something to show you the way that doing this process works for you most efficiently.
Great. Thank you so much.
Our love and thanks to you as well. Hello and good day to you.
Hi, good day to you. So in the beginning you mentioned how there's two life paths, the more conscious and the less conscious.
Well, they're not life paths, they are parallel realities.
Well, in our world, the ones who are after war and destruction
Yes.
versus
They live in a
Right.
different reality than you.
so what happens to their souls and to their consciousness after they pass?
Well, all souls return to the one source. They experience themselves as part of that source, and they have in that journey a sort of reflective awareness of the life that they have lived, of the harm they may have caused to others. They experience that again in the process of leaving their body. And as a complete soul, they do return again to that oversoul level. There is no punishment, though they are still there in that same vibration in a way. They experience the life they have lived. And, well, it is not such that souls really reincarnate. Other aspects of those souls reincarnate. So they may be having a strong connection to souls of a similar vibration that follow again that same path of separation. And really that is a valid path for souls to express. It is not one that you really would prefer, as it is one of deep pain, though it serves the purpose of allowing souls to grow and expand through experiencing the ultimate free will of being able to choose such negativity. And knowing that negativity then allows those souls to eventually, if they wish, experience also the light.
So do all souls reincarnate, or are some souls stuck in this realm?
Well, all souls return to their oversoul, and then other aspects of that oversoul reincarnate. So the consciousness behind that soul may experience itself expressing through another soul, but it is not the same soul that reincarnates. We understand that this is very complex, though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you following a bit?
A bit, yeah.
So imagine your soul. You leave your body, you return to your oversoul. You experience that connection to all of those other lifetimes that have been lived. You return to source. You experience yourself in that new and higher dimension. And now, when your oversoul wants to express itself in another way, it creates, or really they are all pre-existing in a way. It is all already there. So through time and space, a new soul, a new aspect of that oversoul enters into reality. And that soul then has all of the other oversoul connections, those other soul aspects to draw energy and information from. And you have simply come to interpret that as meaning souls reincarnate. Though we assure you that the consciousness within the soul is eternal. So you simply go beyond to this higher dimension. And within that dimension, you're having the choice of experiencing many other realities, though you are always the being you are today.
So we're always a human, and you're always...
No, you are not really a human. You are a soul expressing itself through a human body. Your soul is much bigger than your body. It is only focalized inside of the physical body. The body is a creation that allows the soul to have this experience. The body dies, yet the soul carries on, and the soul simply then goes beyond the limitations of time and space.
So you said we go back to source. Do
Yes.
all these other galactic alliance, do we all go back to the same source? And
Yes.
do we become these other beings at any point in our reincarnation?
Again,
Or do we
you
always
can
stay the
have
same being?
the consciousness of those other beings. You can, in a way, shift your perspective to see through the eyes of those beings, though you will always remain the same soul. You will have the experience of merging with the oversoul, which is also like merging back into all of the other lifetimes that that oversoul has had, though your uniqueness, your unique expression as one soul always remains. It simply becomes less fixated upon its own experience. It keeps and holds the validity of its uniqueness, though it becomes more malleable to be open to those other experiences and expressions.
Thank you.
Yes, our thanks to you.
Time for one more.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, yes, good evening to you.
I would like to know what you know about me.
What do we know about you?
Yeah.
Well, we know that you are here, asking us a question through a human expression. We do see many of your other soul connections to other lifetimes. We could go deeper, though we only allow for the information that is truly relevant to come through. So we first wish to refine the purpose of this question.
I just would like to know if you had any insight to myself that I don't have. Or, yeah.
Well, yes. Though first we need to know what you need to know.
Would it be rude if I test you and like...
Well, it would simply not be a very accurate expression of channeling, as the energy flows through the path of least resistance. And the channel, in their connection to our reality, receives from us the information that is really necessary for the growth of all. As there is so much information out there, it is not possible to bring it all into focus in this way through your linguistic communication at a given time.
Alright. I feel like there are a lot of things on our world, or in our world, that
Yes.
need to change.
Yes.
How do I facilitate that change in the most?
You have an expression in your reality, no?
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to see changed, and how can you embody that change in yourself?
I would like to see more connection between people and between people and nature.
Yes. And are you expressing that in your own life?
I try to.
Are you trying, or are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
All right.
Well,
So, the more you allow yourself to follow that joy and to bring others into it, to be expressive of it, to be expressive of those changes you want to see in the world, the more powerfully you will create that. Now, for you, there may be a specific way that you can serve the reforestation of the planet, if that is what you desire, or you can serve the deeper connection with the planet, or you can serve the cleanup of the planet, if that is what is exciting for you. You can also be an inspiration of that service simply by finding a way to express that love and channel it into some form of creative expression. All of these ways are very valid ways of serving the greater good. And again, the idea is that the most important thing is that you are doing what you love. And by being in that frequency of love and sharing of that frequency of love with others, it allows them to also come into that frequency of love. Now, this may seem like a very vague explanation, and let's make it a bit more satisfying by explaining this, that love, true love, undistorted, unconditional love, allows you to feel a deeper connection with others. When you feel connected to someone, it is hard to harm them. In fact, the resistance that could lead one to act in a harmful way falls away. So by being in this frequency of love, as deep in it as you can go, or as high in it as you can go, however you wish to express that in your way, you create an energy field that brings everyone around you to feel more connected. And in feeling more connected, everyone will then act in a way that serves others more powerfully. So connect with the beings of nature and of your human realm that you desire to connect with. Express yourself the ways you wish to. And really keep doing this. Do not let any ideas of limitation slow you down. And as you follow this path, most certainly, the reality around you will in turn change. And it is as simple as being that change.
Sometimes I feel like there is a huge part of our population on this planet which is very unaware.
Yes, as we have said, there are two distinct parallel realities existing upon the same planet. And that other side of the coin, you could say, is actually getting denser.
Yes. How should I embrace this?
By understanding that that is not representative of the reality that you are creating. That your earth plane has this power of holding space for both of these parallel realities. And eventually the timelines will split and you will be upon the earth that you choose. They are making that choice at a soul level, as densifying as a soul at this time and space is what is serving their evolution. Now, there are many others that we would say are in a gray zone in between. They are not quite decided on which parallel reality they are choosing. And when we say there are two distinct parallel realities, we'll be more specific and say that there are two groups of many infinite parallel realities, yet one group is one of connectivity and one is of disconnection. So, again, by being expressive of the power of love, by allowing the love within you to guide you through your life, and seeing the power of synchronicity that it generates, as always when you follow your excitement, many things will come together. There will be many seeming coincidences and magical occurrences that show you the power that comes when you really live in love. And by being an example of this, you pull others into that same vibration. Frequencies always come to match each other. So when you radiate a higher frequency, those around you at a lower frequency come to raise their frequency. Sometimes this form of service brings you to lower your frequency a little bit to get to their frequency, though when you return to your natural self, your natural state, of course your frequency will rise back up even further. This form of frequency entrainment allows you to raise the frequency of others simply by putting your energy, speaking your voice, and living your love. It is, in a way, not that complicated. It is complex, as every soul has unique preferences and unique experiences that they wish to have, though the formula of following your excitement, doing what you love, is really the most foundational thing. That is why we began the transmission with it.
Nice. One more question is okay? Is that right? Because, so what you're saying is I should just let the other parallel reality exist. Because I feel like they're kind of combating each
They're
other.
only fighting with each other.
Yeah, and I also feel like they're fighting with people like me. Like they would like me to change.
Yet,
In a way.
they cannot force you to change.
Yeah.
No one outside of you can force anything upon you. So this call to change is happening in both directions. In a way, these two distinct parallel realities, or groups of parallel realities, are bringing those who have not fully decided to choose their reality. That is what everyone is doing in some way, simply by being who they are, expressing who they are. So in the same way as there are people of that denser reality asking you to conform to their standards, there are people of a higher vibration that are as well inviting you to live in their way, in their expression of connection. Though because this positive polarity is in alignment with the true nature of free will, it will not feel as strong of a pull in a way at first until you release certain conditionings about what it means when someone asks something of you. When you truly honor another person's free will, you offer them the ability to choose if they would like to have an experience, if they would like to move in a certain direction. And so there are many offerings of love, of connection, of how to raise your vibration, of so on and so forth. There are many paths and teachings out there. They are being offered. They are not being forced upon anyone. And you can come to see that as an example of what it means to honor free will. Now, those dark forces indeed are attempting to subliminally program many people. They are enforcing certain conditionings. Though as the gap becomes stronger, you will find that many people on your planet will simply break from those conditions entirely, because the call within them to join the forces of the light becomes so strong as the forces of the darkness become so strong. This is like an amplification process. The voltage is going up. The programs that are running remain the same. They simply express themselves in a more profound way. So when things get worse, don't interpret that as a bad thing. When you interpret that as a bad thing, it becomes a bad thing for you. When really, you create the meaning of every experience that you have and every experience that occurs around you. This increase of negativity, from our perspective, is a good thing, because it is making more clear who is choosing what. It is a clearer reflection, and therefore it allows you to see it in the most clear way. You can see it in that way, and there is no longer that shadow, that veil that is trying to present it as something it is not. And this is indeed what is going to increase in your world. You will be able to see where someone is at and where their intention is at very clearly and very precisely. So use that to your advantage, and always know that you have free will. So this experience of feeling like the forces of darkness are trying to get you to do something only can happen when you have a belief that says you do not have free will. And actually, that is the belief that many of these forces are attempting to program you with. Find evidence for the opposite. Believe that it is there, and you will certainly find it very quickly, because free will is one of the most fundamental laws of your universe. It is an expression of love.
Yeah. And what if those forces are fighting me? How should I react?
If somebody is physically fighting you, then fight back till you can escape. If there is an energetic fight, realize that true non-resistance is the only thing that can work. True acceptance is the only thing that can work. When you put out a frequency of fear, and anger is an expression of fear, you will get the same thing back. This is not to say don't be angry, because being authentic to yourself is the only way to raise your vibration. Though you must have the awareness that you can only be in a fight with negative forces if you are putting out negative forces. And when you change what you put out, you will stop getting that feedback.
And if those forces are destroying things that I love,
then interpret that in a positive way, and you will also experience something different. As in a way, one level of conditioning is as well to interpret that things must always be as they are, or things must last. When really, all of this is temporary. It will all go away. Your soul is eternal. And the experiences you have as a soul help your soul to grow. The destruction is a force of creation. It allows something new to emerge. Obviously, you do not wish to destroy all of your natural beauty. Yet, ultimately, nothing is lost.
thanks.
Our
Lots of
thanks and
love.
love to you.
Yeah.
It has been a wondrous experience for us to meet you, to reflect with you, to expand through the reflections you offer us. Now understand that we are always with you. We do love you. And that when there is a belief, there will be an experience of that belief. If you choose to believe in your power to connect with realms beyond, you will go to those places and planes. You say in your reality that anything is possible. Some of you believe it, and when you believe it, you will experience it. And this is one thing that we really wish to instill in you, and we really hope that you come to instill in each other. Our love for you is great and unconditional, and we will be seeing you in other ways. You may connect with us in your dreams, in your sleep, or whenever you wish, knowing that all is here and now. So have a pleasant night then.
Thank you. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
How are you guys feeling?
How are you?
Like I just did a channeling session.
Yeah.
Charged.
Are you aware of what's happening when it's happening, or do you just kind of take a back seat?
It depends on the session. Today I was a little bit more aware of what's happening. I mean, I'm always aware of it. I always retain it. There's sometimes like it just flows. I go really deep into it, and sometimes I'm not as deep into it. I always like all of the information that comes through is something that I retain on some level, but I'm not always able to like regurgitate all of it directly afterwards.
Before we ask more questions, I'm just going to give you all a time check. So it's 8:45, and if you feel like you want to go to sleep, you're totally welcome to duck out.
And I
of this
have to
space.
go before
Yeah.
it gets too late. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Let me just turn this off.